What we owe to each other. A question asked by Tim Scandin in his idea of interpersonal morality. During this pandemic, regardless of your situation or circumstance, we are all affected. We all wake up each day feeling fear and uncertainty, and this struggle is felt across the masses, cutting across industries, businesses, jobs, and economies. We are finding it hard to be optimistic, to perform in our work. We are feeling confused. We have lost our confidence, feeling absolutely shattered down, powerless and despondent. We don't know when it's going to end. We are finding this so difficult because we think that we are supposed to be happy. We're supposed to be coping. We're supposed to be dealing with the fact that this is all happening, that we're all going through this. So why should your situation be unique? This inconsistency in our mind is what creates more anxiety and stress. This is a psychological principle known as cognitive dissonance, which is an inconsistency between our thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes. We are supposed to be coping, but we are simply not. How do we be ethically human in a time of a crisis? What do we owe to each other? We are not speaking about mental illness, but mental health. And all of us have a mental health that needs to be cared for. Being connected in a time of absolute isolation is the basis of our existence, to be socially connected. So then why do we find ourselves in a situation where we're struggling to cope in a time like this? Humans can only deal with change on a linear curve, managing incremental amounts of change at a time. This is why change generally happens over a period of time within an organization to allow people to adapt to the new behaviors required in that change. However, as we have seen with the introduction of technology into the workplace, which grows at an exponential rate, creates difficulty in allowing people to adapt to the new technology. This is why change management forms the basis of all technological changes in the workplace, to shift people's behaviors according to their ability to adapt to the new change. With the pandemic, we have seen an exponential amount of change happening in a very short period of time. This is ultimately the reason why people are struggling to adapt to the change, because change happened at a faster level than which people were able to cope with. Ideally, change should have an end date in mind to reduce the fear, anxiety, and uncertainty around the change. Without this, people may become despondent because they are struggling to cope with the uncertainty around the change. Ultimately, we are dealing with a great amount of change in a very short period of time, with an uncertain end date in mind. Now, more than ever before, we need to support and encourage those around us. Although we are more separated than we've ever been before, with the Internet of Things, everyone benefits in a shared network. This enables us to connect with each other. So ultimately, what the Internet has done is created an open source platform where everyone can share and connect. It is extremely important for us to be aware of what is being posted online and the effect that social media has on our mental well-being. But it is also a space that we can connect with others while reducing the risk. So how can we enable our workforce by staying connected? Tip number 1, elevate people's mental state by hosting shared social sessions. We can have a massive impact on our workforce by hosting weekly or bi-weekly social online sessions, and by using social games, develop a culture of togetherness, connecting on a personal level, creating a fun virtual environment, and ease of stress. Tip number 2, host virtual drinks or coffee events. Although we cannot be physically connected, we can reach out to each other by having virtual drinks or coffee events to socially connect with others, openly hear their frustrations, provide them with a platform for support and encouragement, and remind them that they are not alone. However, everyone is unique and different, and some people might not enjoy this format of connecting, but the idea is to ensure everyone feels acknowledged in whichever format that they feel most comfortable with and to connect. Tip number 3, track performance output, not time, and support the journey. As a result of psychological effects on people's mental health, we need to be aware that they are going through great amounts of underlying fears. Offering support to employees by helping them track and reach their targets and discussing with them the blockers that they are experiencing on a consistent basis will aid and assist their performance, but also create a culture of teamwork and shared support. Being authentic, empathetic, not judging others, and being there for each other. This is what we owe to each other. You are not alone.